Daniel, do we have a DVD? While you're getting that ready, Jeffrey Wong, Reverend Dr. Hoover Wong's son, who is local, is here with us. So Jeffrey, if you may come forward and receive this award on your father's behalf, we would all be thrilled. So please come up.
We're going to watch a...
You're going to first give the gift,
Okay.
and then we'll have, after Jeffrey will speak.
About 10 years ago at a faculty meeting, I proposed that we ought to initiate a China studies program because of our growing relationship with the churches both in Taiwan and Hong Kong and on the mainland. And we're just about ready to vote, and somebody stood up and said, we already have one. And it was one that was established by Hoover Wong. And that was one occasion in which we remembered the marvelous contribution that Dr. Hoover Wong made to the mission of Fuller Seminary and indeed to the Chinese American Church. And let me read this, okay? Jeffrey, we present to you and hope that you will in turn present it to your dad, Hoover Wong, the Reverend Dr. Hoover Wong, where it says, in recognition of your accomplishments in teaching and scholarship, your exemplary integration of missiology with pastoral experience, your pioneering directorship, oh, sorry, delete. He was not a dictator, no. A Freudian slip about my own leadership style, but your pioneering directorship of the Chinese Studies program at Fuller Theological Seminary from 1988 to 1993, and your commitment to serve the Chinese Church in the United States and in China. This award is given on this day of our Lord, February 7, 2011. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Mao, Dr. Doug McConnell, Dr. Timothy Sang, and Dr. Young Lee Herdig for this gracious honor. I accept it on behalf of my father, equally humbled, only because I know how much this means to him, knowing the fond memories of Fuller that are indeed close to his heart. His years here were some of his most fulfilling because it was here that he was able to fully utilize his gifts, teaching, mentoring, sending. I actually lived in Pasadena during part of his tenure here at Fuller, and I was able to observe his passion for his work in the School of Intercultural Studies and how much he enjoyed interacting with students, faculty, and staff. But I also felt his deep respect for the administration and leadership of Fuller. He was proud to be part of the Fuller family, and this pride is only possible due to Fuller's position as one of the world's preeminent institutions educating and equipping our future Christian leaders. In addition, my father saw the need for Chinese Americans on campus to come together for mutual support and for the pursuit of God's kingdom on earth. Regarding my father's work implementing English ministries within the Chinese American Church, I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the directors of FACE, which is a fellowship of American Chinese evangelicals and their spouses, an organization that my father helped to co-found over 30 years ago, and they're right here in front of us. They are, and if you can just please stand, Reverend Joe and Shirley Wong. Reverend David and Priska Wu. And David's a Fuller grad. Peter and Marge Ewan. Peter's also a Fuller grad. And Waylon and Clara Wong. Waylon is also a Fuller grad. I know that we all continue to pray for Fuller's continued leadership and influence in transforming the world in which we live, as well as Isaac's continued leadership in Asian American ministry. On behalf of my father, Hoover Wong, and our entire family, I thank you all so very much.
Greetings, Dr. Mao, Dr. McConnell, Dr. Hurtig, esteemed colleagues, and my dear friends. I thank you for selecting me as the first recipient for the Legacy Award. Now, the word legacy in my context suggests one who goes before, providing a legacy for those who follow. I shall speak in this context, and I shall cite but one example in the interest of time. Every Jewish male 20 years and older was required to pay the temple tax. It was a mark and a sign of his piety and solidarity with the people of Israel. Among the converts to Jesus, the question naturally arose, why the tax for us? Had not Jesus earlier declared, and I quote, "A greater than the temple is here," unquote. Jesus responded, instructed them to pay the tax as he himself had done. It was not a confessional situation, nor was it an issue central to the faith. There was no retraction that had to be made. Therefore, it would be needless to shock, to agitate, to offend, producing a needless rupture between the people and the disciples of Christ. It would drive them from hearing the gospel. Such was the legitimate compromise as practiced by Jesus. Now, this proved helpful to me in my early ministry. I was called to a bicultural church dominated by overseas-born leadership. I came as the associate English pastor. We soon discovered between us that I was making $2,000 more per year than the senior pastor under whom I was to serve. It behooved me ultimately to take a $4,000 cut. You might say this was my way of paying the Chinese temple tax of my time. This missiological sensitivity, this compliance step, minimized misunderstanding and resistance. This legitimate Christian compromise led to trust and to acceptance and to peaceful tenure. Cross-cultural concerns, its challenge is still with us. I applaud the efforts of both Fuller and Isaac as they face the contemporary issues of today. I thank you again for this award. I thank the Lord for leading me and coaching me and empowering me in my pastoral ministry and teaching here at Fuller. I thank you, and God love and bless you, each one.